In 1982, Craig Stadler received the green jacket at Augusta National, one of the most defining moments of his career. But what if I told you the real winner was not Stadler?
What happened in 1982? And I know there's the story of you and Ben Bussey, that the fact that you were able to get a caddy that you kind of followed the lead. Could you take us down the road of how that all played out?
To find out the full truth, we'll have to go back in time to 1982. The year of cable TV's rise, Cold War tensions, and Michael Jackson's Thriller. At the time, Stadler was already known as the Walrus, a 28-year-old with a powerful swing, a thick mustache, and a reputation for being unpredictable. He hadn't won a major yet, but he was hungry, focused, and ready to make a statement at the majors. Despite this, Stadler was ready to walk into the biggest tournament of his life, but there was a huge problem. At the Masters, there was a unique rule. Players couldn't bring their trusted tour caddies and had to use the club's local caddies. Meaning, if you want to compete, you have to put your faith in a local man. Someone assigned by the club, someone whom you had never met until the morning of your first round. Now, at the same time, in another part of Augusta, Ben Bussey was preparing for another week of work. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he had a complete, unparalleled understanding of Augusta National. Ben had grown up in Augusta, but the doors into the golf world were limited. Caddying wasn't just a job for him, it was one of the few pathways into the sport. Ben had walked those fairways thousands of times. He had every green, every bounce, and every hidden break memorized. He had watched champions rise and fall. Thursday morning, April 8th, 1982. The first round of the Masters. Stadler arrived early, calm, but focused. He was prepping his gear, stretching, going through the motions, and he was ready for the game but had never met the man who'd be carrying his bag. Then came Ben Bussey, assigned by the club, paired by tradition. Stadler began the tournament with a 75 in round 1, which little did he know at the time would be the highest ever round 1 score of someone who goes on to win the Masters. He was losing his confidence, and after the round, as they walked off the 18th green, Ben stopped. He looked at Stadler and said, "Mr. Stadler, I know every blade of grass on this course. Trust me and we can win." That moment changed everything. Ben started reading all the putts and called Stadler's shots. He became Stadler's eyes. The next day, Stadler came back with a fire. He shot a 69 in the second round, 6 strokes better than the day before. In round 3, he turned it up again with a 67, one of the best rounds of the week. And by Sunday morning, Stadler was leading the Masters. From that shaky 75 on Thursday, Stadler won the championship on Sunday. Everyone was stunned and surprised by Stadler's comeback as he wore the green jacket. He went on and continued playing at a high level through the 1980s and 1990s, racking up 13 PGA Tour victories in total, including 4 alone in that year of 1982 as his peak season. But he never won a major again. Years later, when asked about that win, Stadler gave credit to Ben, one where credit was due.
To be honest with you, I remember I had Bussey caddying for me, and he was one of the best green readers I've ever seen. And that was the last year you had to take the club caddies, but I'd use him the next year. And we were in the last group on Sunday in '83, so obviously we got along well and we worked together well.
But history didn't remember Ben. The next year, the rule changed and players were allowed to bring their own caddies to the Masters. And while many club caddies were replaced after this policy change, some, including Bussey, continued caddying at Augusta, as it was only right for Craig to put his trust back in the man who helped him win. So, the question remains, did Craig Stadler really win the Masters? Or was it the man walking beside him, the man golf history forgot?